83% of businesses survive check by check, yet 95% of businesses are created for financial freedom. Like the primary reason is I'm doing this because I want to be financially free. I want personal freedom, flexibility, and I want to have impact. I want to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Always those top three. So I'm like, everyone's trying to make some form of wealth for themselves, but none of us can figure out what's wrong with us. Are we all idiots? Well, that started this insatiable thirst to figure out what makes entrepreneurship tick. Profit First was discovering that the profit formula we use is wrong. We're told a lie. Clockwork is that the key to efficiency is not systems and SOPs. It was all this stuff that was contrary to what I thought to be true. So I've become a contrarian entrepreneurial author. I do own many businesses today, but my primary focus is researching out what makes businesses tick. I guinea pig on my own companies.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it's a disaster. And then when it works, I codify it by writing a book.
Gotcha.
That's what I do.
Gotcha. I love it. Well, if we can jump into Profit First, because that one was first recommended to me by a mentor, and cool. I want you to speak to it and to the audience. And I don't want to steal your thunder, but it's a book that is contrarian because we're always told owners eat last, entrepreneurs, get paid last. That is very different than the message you share in Profit First. So speak to that philosophy and how did you arrive at that philosophy? Yeah.
So the philosophy I have, this is for every book I write, is what is the desire we have?
Yeah.
What do we want? What's the outcome we're getting? And if there's a discrepancy between the desire and outcome, it's always the method in the middle that's the issue. Maybe how we're executing, maybe our beliefs or our understanding, but there's something with the method. So I realized in my own journey, but also talking with countless entrepreneurs, is I want to be profitable. I want to have money for myself and serve my community and stuff. Yeah. Okay, how much money do you have? Most business owners make less than they would if they had a job, are working ridiculous hours, and become financially resentful of their company. I'm paying employees, but I'm not making money. Yeah. So desire and outcome is way off. So then I look at, well, what's the method we follow? And the method we follow is we take our sales, we subtract our expenses, and what's left over is profit. It's the foundational formula. And I'm like, what's wrong with that method? And I realized, while logically it makes sense, behaviorally it makes no sense because it's human nature. When something comes last, we disregard it. If my health matters, I say my health comes first. I don't say my health comes last. Yet we call profit the bottom line, the year end, the last or final take. All things saying it can wait till later. So the wiring of humanity is, don't worry about it now, worry about it in the future. And therefore, it never gets done. Mm. The core lesson from Profit First is profit is not an event as in eventuality. Profit is a habit.
Yeah. And if you, this is a rhetorical question, so let me rephrase it. Can you share a couple of examples? You can blind them. We don't have to know the names, but a couple of examples where you've worked with somebody using and applying the Profit First methodology and just how it changed their outcome. It changed their happiness. It changed their,
I'll share names too. One of my favorite stories is an organization that's become pretty famous now. You may have heard of them. They're the Savannah Bananas. It's a baseball team out of Savannah that is effectively the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. And if you haven't heard of them, Google them. They just sold out Fenway, 60,000 people. Yankee Stadium, they're touring all the major stadiums. Most profitable baseball team on a percentage basis. Even major league teams, they make more money on a percentage basis. Yeah. The founders, Jesse Cole and Emily Cole, deployed Profit First. In fact, he sent me a note saying, we're setting this up, and I've subsequently became friends with them, visited with them. Here's what's so interesting. They were originally what's called a all-star team, minor leagues, effectively. Yeah. You don't make money. Minor leagues don't make money. They're if anything, they're a farm team for the big leagues. Their first game, they had 300 people attend, and it's all family and friends, kind of like your gig at
that's 300 more than you and I had. So
exactly. I wish I had. That's a dream come true for me too. But for baseball, you make $10 a ticket, so it's $3,000. The expenses to run is about $5,000 per game, so you lose $2,000 every night. That's the win. So they said, we're going to do Profit First. Well, they took out profit from that $3,000 they made, and it says, gosh, we only have like $2,500 left. How do we run the business off $2,500? So what it does is it forces innovative thinking. They said, we can't afford the scoreboard. So they said, no scoreboard. first baseball team to say, we're ditching a scoreboard. Instead, they asked the audience, like between boxing bouts, to hold the score up and walk around. They said, we want to get a cheer squad or something going. They said, we're going to have the audience do it. The rule was you had to be 80 years or older, female, teeth were optional, and now you're the grandma bananas. They started making the audience part of the show. And now it's not just because of Profit First. They are highly innovative.
Sure.
They started making this whole Harlem Globetrotter scene. They exploded in success. The irony is by forcing profitability, it also forces innovation and you redefine your industry. They're one of my favorite examples because many people now recognize the name. And if you haven't heard of them yet, within the next month or two, you're going to hear them again and again.
Yeah.
So those are the type of stories that have come out from Profit First.
I love your just the little throwaway comment you made but it's powerful is the lack of unlimited capital. A constricted resource forces more creativity, forces you to be, to think to the next level, which I love that.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look back at your own life and I look at mine, there's been times we had less money than we do today.
Yep.
Life was good, man.
It's really
I remember
easy.
back in college, you figure out how to get a pizza for $5, or you work with some buddies, or I remember when I was first starting out my author career 15 years ago and committing to this, going to conferences and saying, my gosh, if I get $100 to speak, that would be amazing. And I still don't have enough to pay food. I'd rather that paying groceries. How am I going to eat lunch? Well, I just go to the buffet. It's a little bit sinful, but I would go to the buffet of other events. And if there was some stuff left over after everyone else ate,
sure,
I was grabbing my food. So when put under constraint, we actually explode in finding the solution. What most businesses do is they say, every dollar comes in is every dollar I'm going to spend. And I'm saying every dollar comes in, first take your profit, hide it from your business. Your business will tell you what's truly available for expenses. If you want this profit, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And the benefit is your mind will say, how am I going to make this work? And you will always find a way.